Hi sis, okay, so now I'm working on your overdue lesson 8.3, Rootin, Tootin, Roots. Okay, let's get started with this lesson, where you'll learn all about roots. If you're wondering what roots are, these are the roots of a tree. Okay, this is how roots look. They extend downwards into the soil. Here the roots are showing. Let's go to the next screen. Actually, the screen after. Okay, oops. Have you ever tried to pull a plant out of the ground? Sometimes you can do it easily, and sometimes it's really hard. So I know you never tried to do that. It's actually, like if it's a small plant, you can easily root it. You can pull it out, uproot it, pull it out of the ground. But if it's a larger plant, where its roots are really long and, yeah, when its roots are really long and extended, it's kind of hard to pull it out. We might try that sometime. Did you ever wonder why it might be hard to pull a plant out of the ground? Yep. Today, you're going to learn about the part of a plant that grows underground and keeps it firmly in the soil. This plant part is called the root, like we saw in the previous screen. So as you'll learn on the next couple of screens, the root's actually a really important part of the plant because it helps it stand up, like from the ground. Okay, we'll learn more about this. Almost everywhere we go, we see trees. Huge towering ones, little stumpy ones, and every size in between. We're very familiar with what trees look like. So yeah, plants and trees are everywhere. We always see them, you know what it looks like. But there's a part that you don't usually see. Can you think what part that might be? You guessed it, they're the roots. Trees may seem to stop at the ground, but in fact they keep going. They keep going deep into the soil. Underneath the ground, they have huge root systems. Root systems. This is the key word, actually, root. That's what we're discussing mostly about in this lesson. So those root systems stretch out in all directions and give the trees a strong hold on the soil so it doesn't fall over. So it helps the tree stand nice and tall. Okay. The trees also draw water and nutrients from the soil so the tree can stay healthy. So the roots help the plant get water and nutrients, means all the good stuff it needs to grow, from the soil so the tree can grow and stay healthy. Okay, we may not be able to see the roots all the time, but to the tree they are very important. So what do roots look like? Imagine having a pair of magical glasses that let you see through the dirt. So this is us wearing this is a picture of what you would see when you're wearing your magical glasses. You can actually see what's going on under the soil. Under every tree you pass, you see what looks like an upside down bush spreading out. These are the roots. So this is supposed to be kind of like an upside down bush, and it's spreading out over here. You see, here's one long branch, and there's another one sticking off of it, another little one sticking off of it, off of which another tiny one sticking out. Okay, so they're spreading. You see, they're spreading. Same thing here, spreading. Okay, so these are the roots. So the top part is what you normally see above the soil, right? But the bottom part is very important as well. They're the roots. These are the roots under the soil. There are two types of roots: tap roots and fibrous roots. A tap root is a large central root that grows down deep into the ground, kind of like this one. It has smaller roots around it that point in different directions. So this is a tap root. It has a large central root, so this long sort of line in the middle, bold line in the middle, that's the central root that grows down deep into the ground, and then there are smaller roots, like shooting off of it, going in every direction. And then there's another kind of root called fibrous roots. So these are fibrous roots. They spread over a wide area and tangle and twist all around and absorb water and nutrients from the soil. They act like the anchor on a boat and keep the tree firmly held in the ground. So these roots are like the anchor of a boat to help it stick to the ground, okay, to keep it stuck with the ground, just like an anchor does to a boat. Yeah, they help keep the tree firmly in the ground. Okay, next slide. Now, still wearing your magic glasses, you go over to some other plants and take a look at their roots. You see that bushes have roots too, as do flowers, weeds, and even grass. Each plant's roots look a little different, but all plants have roots. Now imagine taking off your glasses. Things are back to normal and you can't see what's going on under the ground anymore. But now you know that trees, like other plants, don't stop at the ground. They don't stop just at the surface of the soil. They continue deep beneath the soil. Growing under them are their roots, holding them in place and absorbing the water and nutrients that the plant needs. Do they help hold them in place and help them get what they need to grow, like water and nutrients? Okay. So here are some questions for you to think about. Where do roots usually grow? We talked about this. Well, take a moment to pause the video and try answering this on your own. And then I'll give away the answer. Okay, I'm assuming you've taken a moment to give the answer to this question. Let's see the answer. Underground. Okay, next question. Can you remember what 2 important jobs roots have? We talked about this. Can you remember? Again, try answering this on your own. If not, we can see what the answer is. Roots take in water and nutrients from the soil, and they help hold the plant in place. One job is to keep the plant upright. That means, standing up straight by holding onto the soil. Roots keep plants from falling over and being washed or blown away. This is similar to the way a boat's anchor keeps the boat from drifting away. The root's other job is to take in water and nutrients from the soil. Nutrients are like vitamins for plants. So roots take up water from the soil, kind of like a sponge soaks up water. Okay, similarly, the roots take in water from the soil, kind of like a sponge soaks up water. Yeah, here's some activities, but I'm just going over the lesson. I'm not doing the activity portion of it. Okay. Do you remember the 2 kinds of roots that we talked about? One was tap roots, and the other was fibrous roots. Roots have 2 main jobs. What are they, again? Do you remember we just talked about this a few seconds ago? One is to take in the water and nutrients from the soil, and the other is to help the plant stay in the ground, not get washed away or blown away, help it stand upright. Okay. Yeah, we're going to skip this one. Okay, this is an activity that you can do on your own time with your parents or guardians. Let's move on. I'm just going over the lesson. What parts of your seedlings take up water? The roots. Remember this, the roots. Okay. And the roots take up water from the soil. Can you remember the name of the tiny roots that you looked at through your magnifying glass? What were they called? The root hairs. Okay. Plants usually get water from water in the soil. I think this has to do with the activity that they gave you. Yeah, so once you do the activity, the science experiment that they have, you could answer these questions. Yeah, I'm actually going to skip these. But it's still, yeah, what do you think would happen? It's still useful to look at these questions and answers to see what it might be like if you did the experiment, or you can, actually, it's better if you do the experiment and then answer these questions, but for the sake of time, I am just going to go over the main parts of the lessons. Okay, so what do you think would happen to your seedlings if they did not have roots? They would die because they couldn't get water. I don't know what the answer to this is. Oh, okay. Okay, so here's an online activity for you to do. It says point to the picture of a taproot and the picture of fibrous roots. I don't know why it says answer here, but I think this one's the taproot and this one's the fibrous roots. Yeah, I'm doing this activity with you. Picture on the left shows a taproot, picture on the right shows fibrous roots. Okay, so I guess I got it right. Look at the 5 pictures of objects. Roots are like which 2 of these objects? So here are 5 pictures of objects. Roots are like 2 of which of these objects? Well, one, we know that roots are like sponges because they absorb the water. They take in the water from the soil, kind of like a sponge. So this is already one. No, roots aren't like shoes. They aren't like umbrellas. They aren't like basketballs.
Look.
But they are like anchors. Because remember, roots hold on to the soil. Yeah, roots help the plant hold on to the soil, kind of like anchors help boats hold on to the ground. Why? Okay, we also talked about this. Yeah, sponge because it absorbs water, and the anchor because it anchors something. Okay, now there's a quiz for you to take. Actually, let's go over the questions that will be asked in your quiz. Okay, the first question is, where are roots located on a plant? Well, this is a plant. I've made a little picture of the plant here. Do you remember where the roots were located? So imagine this is the soil, and this is the top part of the plant. The roots are actually down below the soil. So pretend you have those magnifying glasses, those special glasses on. The roots would be down here in the soil. Let's make the soil deeper. So yeah, that's the soil. Deep underground, and your roots would be right here. Is there a long root? And lots of thinner ones sticking out of it. Yeah, okay. I think I've done enough. It's not supposed to be that long, but anyway. Okay. Alright, so roots. Where are roots located on a plant? Should be pretty clear. Underground. Oh, that was supposed to be an arrow. That's your root. Roots. Space for an S here. Okay. Name 2 ways that roots help a plant. Well, roots, they soak in nutrients and water from the soil. So there's a little, really tiny bits of water in the soil. Soil you will see underground if you've ever touched soil. It's kind of wet, a little wet. So roots, they absorb the water that's deep beneath the soil. Okay? Alright, so that's what roots do. That's one way roots help a plant. Another way is they help a plant hold on to the ground, kind of like a ship's anchor. And, yeah, I believe this is what an anchor looks like. Okay, so it helps the plant hold on to the ground. The plant could just get blown away. The roots help the plant stay stuck to the ground. So that's the second way that roots help the plants. Okay? Alright, those are the first 2 questions in your lesson assessment, your little quiz. The third question asks, which picture shows a taproot? It's in black and white, so it might be a little hard to see. I don't know, but on your actual quiz it's going to be in color. If you remember what a taproot looks like, there's a long central root, and then there are lots of tiny ones sticking off of it. So this is going to be your taproot. Okay. This one, the roots for this one are called fibrous roots. Okay? Yeah, fibrous roots. That's what they're called. Alright. 4th question, which picture shows fibrous roots? Well, I just talked about it here. Alright, and you're all done with this lesson. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.